So I got braces put on my teeth and I was diagnosed with bipolar 2. Misdiagnosed with bipolar 2. I'll tell you what happened. I was already a mouth breather. I was already having difficulty sleeping and being given sleeping pills for insomnia. And at night, I was already shoving my skull up, like shoving up. I would have my hand in a fist and shoving up under my chin. And unbeknownst to me, there's something seriously wrong, and like physically wrong, and severe insomnia, right? And at 25 years old, I got braces put on my teeth. 9 teeth the orthodontist removed 9 teeth because my teeth were crooked. I had a lot of teeth in a small mouth, which now I find out apparently that's very common for people with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So he removed 9 teeth, made my jaw smaller, and moved my jaw back. So it took 45 years to figure out what the damage they did to me with putting braces on my teeth. Anyways, first I'll tell you this. So I go to my doctor because the minute I got these braces put on my teeth, my sleep got worse and I got even more frantic. And my doctor sent me back to psychiatry. I was already seeing psychiatry for anxiety, and I was already on sleeping pills. And I'm working at a university. I'm severely sleep deprived. I'm in severe pain from these braces on my teeth. And I'm not sleeping. I don't understand what's going on. And I'm frantic, right? And desperate to sleep, desperate to find out what's wrong with me. And the psychiatrist diagnosed me with bipolar 2. And I knew I wasn't bipolar. I was talked into this. I was coerced. I desperately needed time off of work because I wasn't sleeping. And in order to get any time off work, I had to agree to this misdiagnosis. And then I'm being coerced, and, he's dancing circles around me. I'm not an educated person. He's coercing me, talking me into taking these different medications, right? And my sleep is horrific. I'm frantic. I'm distraught. I know this is all wrong. I know it's all one big mistake. And this would go on, and I'm fighting the system and fighting these doctors for years. It took 35 years to understand what actually happened. And this story gets way more complex, and way more harm was caused to me from medications. For example, I'd already been taking a Z drug. I don't know if I can say that on TikTok or social media. And I was already sleepwalking and sleep eating from sleep medications. So I was literally tortured from sleepwalking and sleep eating for 40 years on these medications. This story is just, there's so much more to this story, but it can't be told in little videos, right? But anyways, it took 35 years from the point I got my braces on to figure out why I'm frantic. And it took 45 years why that misdiagnosis occurred. What the orthodontist did was, doing major cosmetic work with no regard to my airway or my breathing or my physical health. So what he actually did was remove all these teeth. How many adult teeth do we have? He removed 9 teeth. That's like a third or more of our adult teeth. Removed 9 teeth, made my jaw smaller, moved my jaw back. And what he did was he took a person who was already mouth breathing and had difficulty sleeping because of undiagnosed apnea and a small airway, and this guy moved my jaw back and made everything worse. And immediately I was in crisis and insistent that I need help. And they misdiagnosed me as bipolar 2. And that went on for decades. And always known I was misdiagnosed. The only way I found out the truth was I eventually weaned off of the medications. Nobody wanted to wean me off. Doctors were adamant and angry and panicking when I wanted to wean off of all these medications. 15 years ago, I was on 14 medications, 35.5 pills a day, up to 1,000 pills a day, up to 7, 8, 900, 1,000 pills a day. This went on for years. And the only way I found out the truth is I weaned off of everything, which took years. Years of pain and suffering getting off of all these medications. There were 3 medications that nobody knew how to get me off of. And those individually took years of suffering. And then, got my mind back, got my brain back, and started to research and push for help, and finally started to figure it all out. And I saw a TikTok video of an airway dentist. I can't find her. I don't know where she is. Anyways, apparently, lots of people my age, orthodontics they're now, as they're getting older, getting diagnosed with sleep apnea because of the damage that orthodontics did to them. But for me, the damage was immediate. No one could recognize what was happening. So yeah, polymedicated for literally decades for a disorder that I did not have, and I knew I didn't have. And you can't, once someone creates a false narrative like that about you, it's impossible to get that out of your records. It's impossible to change the narrative. It's impossible, because the power imbalance is astronomical. It's impossible to make doctors see the truth, to see where things have gone wrong. The only way of escaping that was to wean off of all the medications, to secretly wean off, get myself off of all of them and show them who I am. And I literally got my brain back when I weaned off all the medications. More than a half a dozen disorders disappeared because they were drug induced.